Ena, why is it that Hampshire has got so much more money than the other councils?
Well, the government deems Hampshire County Council as a model authority, and basically that means that they've shown good practices when it comes to filling potholes. If you just take a look at this machine here, now this is a multi-hog, and this digs the road, it clears it, and it helps fill in potholes, which reduces delays and makes things a lot quicker.
She's in Christchurch for us tonight. Ena, this has got a lot of people talking.
Yes, it has, Sally. Worship and prayer has been offered here for over 1,000 years, but the Reverend woke up this morning to a social media storm. It is here that this photo was taken at the weekend. The person who took it says people were being disrespectful. Now, the vicar is calling for people to be sensitive about other people's feelings, but he wouldn't say whether people should sit or shouldn't sit on the graves.
It's the guilt that this is my fault. It was nobody's fault. But I can't change that.
At the moment, Bruno lives here, the Royal Hampshire County Hospital. They say that they're providing the care that Bruno needs, but are working closely with others to make sure that he gets home as soon as possible.
So I went out to get a nurse, and she came back and said, yes, your mum's died. So she said she would never hold her mask on. So I said, you just let her die. Well, she won't hold her mask on, what can I do?
We've spoken to Royal Bournemouth Hospital, and they say what they can't do is talk to us about individual patient cases, but what they can do and what they say that they want to do is talk to the family directly, face to face, to answer any questions that they may have.
Ena Miller has been following the story. So, Ena, why is this happening now?
Well, in the last few weeks, several hospitals across the south have put their hands up and said they simply can't cope with the demand. So Oxfordshire's A&E department even admitted that they haven't been able to meet their targets of treating patients, and in some cases have nearly declared a major incident. South Central Ambulance explained earlier this week the situation.
These photos on screen now were taken by a BBC South Today reporter who was just a couple of cars behind the crash.
Within a couple of minutes, the fire had just gone from a little thing under the front of the truck to full-blown. The front part was on fire. There was debris all across the motorway, and on the left-hand side were two cars that had been smashed up, but people had got out of them, and one of the women was quite hysterical because she was worried about her children. 9-year-old Layla Crofts was heading to the beach. She was standing at this crossing with her au pair, waiting for the red light. At Bournemouth Crown Court today, 38-year-old Philip Douglas Benwell, seen here on the right, was seen cycling erratically down the middle of Pinecliff Road. Before passing the sentence, Judge Johnson talked about Mr Benwell's good character, but he said he couldn't ignore the facts. He said it was a selfish act, and Mr Benwell had taken a serious risk just to save a few minutes, and in doing so had shattered a family's life. And finally, in a statement from Oxford University Trust, they say that young people at risk of self-harming should seek advice and help as soon as possible.
Ena, thanks very much indeed for telling us that.
Our reporter Ena Miller is there for us this lunchtime. And what's been the reaction to the possible closure, Ena?
Well, Danny, everyone here is devastated that this facility might have to close at Easter. But as you can see, they are trying to carry on as usual. I got the chance to speak to some mums earlier today, and they just told me just how important this facility is to them.
Beach Hut 67, doors and some front panels are gone, but otherwise no problems.
The problem the council seems to have is the asbestos in the roofs, and as you can see, the concrete here is corroding, and because of this problem here, it's affecting the future of all these huts. Isn't she horrible?
But it is an oil painting.
That's the first thing Keith and Sue Webb thought when they opened the mysterious parcel.
Just curious, very curious to know why and who sent it and what we've got to do with it, what we're supposed to do with it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's looking around the walls, there's nowhere to put it.
8 military chalk badges carved by soldiers in Salisbury preparing to go to war. A keepsake to say we were here.
I think a lot about those soldiers that were here in Fovant, and I think a lot about when they were on the hillside building the badges, what thoughts they had.
digging up the poppy will be a real challenge. Volunteers will use the same techniques that the soldiers used nearly 100 years ago, and when it's finally complete, it will stand pride of place between these two chalk badges up here.
And it looks pretty lively there already, Ena.
It is really lively. I'm at a Brazilian restaurant in Southampton, and they've been preparing for this moment for quite some time now. The flags are out, the football's on the screen, and they've already started making the drinks, and I've been sampling a few. Now I've got the manager, Paolo, with me. Now you've had a busy day, haven't you? Southampton City Council says they will charge people using this park for business purposes, but they also admit that they will only charge businesses if they know about it. As a man of the cloth, preaching the word of God is Anthony McCrawwood's job.
Sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free.
But as an ex-accountant, spreading the message of saving and lending money has also become a passion. Jesus is known for kicking out moneylenders and merchants out of the temples, but the Bible does say one should not charge interest on loans to one's brother. But the church now seems to be really happy to let the same moneylenders back in through the front door. Thanks very much and enjoy watching the game. Well, kick-off is tonight at 9 o'clock between Brazil and Croatia, but I think I'd quite like to stay here, Tony. So from Southampton, back to you.